I'm Eric Schaffer, and I've spent the last 40 years working on how to make technology work well for people, to understand people's needs, understand their lifestyle, and adapt business models and systems to those realities. And right now, things are changing very intensely, right? We're at a point of transition. And if you think it's just a short-term bump, you're probably missing it. Because we're in a time of transition that's about the pandemic, but there's more that's going to go on beyond that. The pandemic is just kicking off a set of changes. And those changes will be a lot more intense even than what's happening in the pandemic itself. If you think all you need to do as a business leader is to accommodate the virus. So we sanitize this and we change what we deliver a little. You're missing the boat. We're now going to enter a stage. I remember when during the .com, it was like, you're either the quick or the dead. Well, now you're either the farseeing or the dead. Because only farseeing companies will do well in this new environment. Because everything is going to change. This is a set of lifestyle changes that we modeled first from looking at requirements of sustainability and also positive psychology. That's to say, what do we do to make people happy with the current circumstances? Because that's important. Sure, I'm in quarantine right now, but being in quarantine leaves me opportunities to do good things too. And so we added virus management because that's now clearly a part of it, but all these other kinds of things are happening. And if I understand those changes, I can begin to look at what my business needs to do to adapt to that. I can be farseeing. And by the way, you might be thinking right now, oh, we're entering this terrible time. But in reality, this is a time where you can thrive as a business and you can thrive as an individual. Because one of the things we know is that the lifestyle that we manufacture, the great American dream lifestyle, doesn't make people that happy. And so having more stuff doesn't necessarily make people more happy. Having more wealth doesn't make people more happy. There are other things that make people happy, and those things will manifest and give us a positive way forward as civilizations worldwide. This slide is really important. We did this in 2014. And what we did was we said, let's just look at, and I just picked out a refrigerator. Okay. And we've been doing some appliance design, so we knew about it. What would happen to a refrigerator when you make these lifestyle changes? And what we found was that a couple of the changes might not make a difference, but almost everything did. So if you were creating refrigerators right now and you knew we would be living life in quarantine, just as an example, you would make them very different. I used to go shopping every day or two. Now, once a week, they deliver it outside and there's a whole process of sanitizing it and there's a bunch of things not solved. And that changes the design of the refrigerator. It needs to be bigger. It needs to have different kinds of compartments. If we're not going to work anymore, it means the load on it is much greater also. And I have maybe people that are quarantined together and they need to share that space. And so whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is you deliver, it may be a consumer product. It may be something about the way people work in your operation. It may be a software system, a financial system, a banking system. It may be insurance. All those things will change. So we can take that model of lifestyle and take your business and go, all right, what is the change that's going to go on? How do you adapt to that new environment? And once you have that, you're able to say, all right, I'm going to engineer that. So human engineering, customer experience engineering, user experience engineering, human engineering allows us to systematically, step by step, understand this is how people shop, or this is how people work, or this is how people use a refrigerator, and build out the new solution to that ecosystem. So when we change the ecosystem, not just one individual, but all the people, how they interact, what the environment is, what the scenarios are, when we change that, we change the motivation, we change how we differentiate. How do we persuade people to want to do business with us? We have lots of channels to align. So today you don't just deliver a refrigerator, but there might be an app with it. There's customer service, there's maintenance, there's parts, there's all this. And then how do I build out those parts so that it creates the customer experience that'll make me competitive in that field? So we have a new world coming in front of us. It is a difficult time, a time of transition. And you can thrive in that if you're farseeing and if you have a model of how those lifestyles are going to change.